It's now time for the the last of these second chance heats here at the home of champions. It's Senior Max action, and your grid is as follows. Mikkel Tiggersen and Dorian Heinrich will be on the front row with, I'm very surprised that this Patrick Rundqvist will have alongside Max Karhunen from Finland. Fabian Bock and Finn Gersitz make it a all-German row 3. Uno Oksanen and Mine Pedersen round out the top 4 rows, with Robin Knutsson and Emily de Hoys completing the top 10. 19 competitors in this Senior Max second chance heat. Ahead of Julian Werteler, last year's Euro Trophy runner-up Mick Knowlton, Henri Jung from Germany, Jan Heinen also from Germany, ahead of Martin Frasch, Jordan Dolishka, Lucas Horsman, Sam Harrison, who it was nice to catch up with him and his family last night at the bar here at Karting Genk in 18th. And last but by no means least, running on the Intrepid chassis will be the Netherlands' very own Jordi van der Eyck. 10 minutes on the clock, plus an additional lap in this particular encounter. For those wondering about where you can find live timing, it's at www.motorsport.events.se/Rotax Euro Trophy /hash. So that's the official side of it. If you want to go to the YouTube stream, it is Camp Company GmbH that you need to find that out on. And we are live all the way through the day, with myself and Oli Shubacek being your main sort of guides through the Euro Trophy, and we will continue to do so for the season, which starts in earnest in Adria in the Veneto region in northern Italy, a little bit, well, at the last weekend of May. So the red lights are ignited on the starting gantry once again. 19 Senior Max drivers vying for 8 positions for the top 36 qualified drivers. 28 have already gone through, and it's about who wants to get in there, and I have seen some great charges through the field. So let's see what happens over the next 10 minutes. The drivers enter the final stage of the rolling start formation. We go lights out, heading down, and it's 3 abreast at some points in the mid part of the pack. Who's going to get the whole shot? Who's going to... And I'm seeing again customary overtakes. They can go onto the runoff area through turn 2, and it's nearly 3 abreast coming on the exit of turn 3. That's very, very dicey indeed. So at the moment, Emily de Hoys has made up a position up into 9th. Joran Dolishka's up into 15th. Jan Heinen up into 13th already, and it's still going hammer and tongs heading into turn 7. So the top 6 starting to make a bit of a breakaway now, and Mick Knowlton, I see, is not where I would customarily see him. He's way down the order. He's in around 14th, 15th position. He's got a lot of time to get back up into the top 8. But at the moment, it's still Mikkel Tiggersen that's leading the way ahead of Dorian Heinrich. Patrick Rundqvist now up into 3rd position. Or is he? Let's just see. Rundqvist now up into 2nd. There's quite a few changes along the way. And Sam Harrison up into 14th behind Mick Knowlton. As there's some great 2 side-by-side battles heading into turn number 3, a little bit just behind the pair. But at the moment, the top 8, it's Mikkel Tiggersen who's leading ahead of Patrick Rundqvist, Dorian Heinrich, Fabian Bock. Max Karhunen has now dropped to 5th position, but Emily de Hoys is on the move quite clearly in the 373, up into 6th ahead of Robin Knutsson, with Julian Werteler from Germany occupying 8th at the minute. But Rundqvist has now taken the lead. So the 358 from Sweden, running with the KR Sport outfit, now hits the front of the field. And there's some great battling with Emily de Hoys getting stuck in there with the likes of Dorian Heinrich and Max Karhunen from Finland. Looks like de Hoys now up into 5th position. So she's also running with JJ Racing. So she's had some very good performances this year. Has had a bit of bad luck as well, nevertheless, but she is in one of the prime 8 positions of the top 8. So at the moment, the closest driver towards the top 8 itself will be Julian Werteler, who is now down in 9th, having been overtaken by Nies Racing's Lucas Horsman from Germany. But it's still a lot of time to go. 7.5 minutes plus an additional lap remaining. But Rundqvist, I think, is going to try and break the deadlock that is occurring at the moment. So we've got Rundqvist, Diggelsen, Bock in third, Karhunen, De Hoys, Heinrich, Horstmann, Knutsson now up into 8th, as Finn Gersitz has dropped all the way down to 16th position. And Gersitz started in 6th, so that's a real shame for that youngster, who's now who was in Junior Max last season, now into Senior Max. Sometimes some drivers don't always have the best amount of luck when it comes to transitioning upper class, but he's doing his best, is Finn Gersitz. But at the moment, it's still Patrick Rundqvist that continues to lead, as the leaders now come through the exit of turn number 11. Tigson, Bock, Karhunen, De Hoys. That's the top 5 at the moment, but De Hoys is actually closing in on those in front. The fastest out of everybody at the moment is Max Karhunen. No, make that Lukas Horstmann, who's just done a blinding 54.602. And has there been another change? I'm just wondering, has Bock had to relinquish to Max Karhunen? Nina Pedersen in the 391 with Team Pro Karting, now up into 16th. So Finn Gersitz again drops another position, unfortunately. It's side by side for 6th position going into turn 7. Oh, that was close. And that was between Knutsson and it was Heinrich and Horstmann, I believe. So that is for the lower echelons of the top 8. And some of them are scrabbling away. And there's a great opportunity going into turn 10. Someone's already made the move go through, and that's the 6th position. That might have been the 318 of Lukas Horstmann that's just got past Dorian Heinrich. But Rundqvist still trying to eke out a little bit more of an advantage. Jumps it up to nearly 3.5 tenths of a second over Tiggelson at the minute. Karhunen, De Hoys now gets past Fabian Bock for 4th position. And they're still squabbling over the scraps for the lower part of the top 8. And it's nearly side by side again between 8th and 9th position. That's Wurtele and Knutsson heading through turn number 4. Absolutely explosive racing as we come to expect from the Senior Max division. But Rundqvist still staying out front, keeping it calmness personified. As there's more, well, whoever's jumped up the curbs there on turn 9, that was very opportunistic indeed. And that could have been Robin Knutsson, because I saw the KR Sport colours up on the inside. So let's just see as they go along the start-finish line. Knutsson has jumped up into 7th. Dorian Heinrich now out of the top 8. The German's got to fight back and fight back over the next 4 minutes and 20 seconds, plus an additional lap to keep into that top 8. So the full running order at the moment is Rundqvist, Diggelsen, Karhunen, De Hoys, Bock, Horstmann, Knutsson and Jung. That is the top 8 at the moment. Just outside of it is Dorian Heinrich, Julian Wurtele. So those are the 2 closest drivers coming towards it. Then it's Una Oksanen from Finland. Mick Knowlton still languishing in 12th position. He's still got time. He's got to try and make some headway, because as the few in front are squabbling, now it's the time for Mick Knowlton to get the head down and go, right, I need a top 8. I want to be in those 2 finals. I want to have that opportunity. Top 4 being led by Rundqvist, starting to break away from the rest of the opposition. And between Emily De Hoys and Fabian Bock, it was a gap of over 1.1 seconds. So the top 4 really now trying to solidify their place being secured for the top 36 for the 2 finals, where the 36 will go into battle for a coveted spot for the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals in Sarno in October. The battle for 5th still raging on at the minute. Sorry, my apologies. Thank you, Dave Ritson. 6 drivers, so my apologies. So at the moment, the top 6 will be Rundqvist, Tiggelsen, Karhunen, De Hoys, Bock and Horstmann. So it will be 34, not 36 as I thought originally. My apologies there. But 2 3/4 minutes. So that means that Mick Knowlton is going to find himself probably not wanting to be there. He's got, well, I'm wondering if he has got a chance. Lukas Horstmann, in the meantime, has got past Fabian Bock. Knowlton is trying to make some positions, and I think just ahead he's got Julian Wurtele So Knowlton is trying to hurry things up a little bit here. So it looks like Heinrich is ahead, Jung is ahead. So Mick Knowlton will probably have the likes of Julian Vertela and Una Oksanen up in front. So Oksanen now up into 10th position. The field is starting to concertina slightly as we go into the last 2 minutes plus an additional lap. Rundqvist has got a clearer advantage now. It's nearly half a second over Mikkel Tiggelsen. So could it be half a second this time round? Let's see. 0.519 between first and second position. Robin Knutsson has just got back, has got past Fabian Bock. So Fabian Bock now down into 7th position. That's not where the German wants to be at the minute. And has Voigt Motorsport teammate Henri Jung behind at the moment. So both drivers on the cusp of being there or thereabouts, but we're fast running out of time here. As Rundqvist looks to have extended that lead. So it's still Rundqvist leading, Tiggelsen in second, Karhunen, De Hoys, Horsman and Knutsson. And Knutsson's got a clear gap between himself and Fabian Bock, so Bock not going to have a good run of things. So less than 50 seconds to go, plus an additional lap, so we could have this, plus maybe, I think, with the, well, we're going to have this and an additional lap, so this will be the penultimate lap of this race. So Rundqvist's lead was just over 0.6 of a second last time out. So final lap board it is, and it looks like now there has been a 5-second penalty given, and it looks to be to Jordi van der Eyck. Now I'm wondering whether that's either going to be a jump start. If not, it will be for track limits being quite well and truly exceeded. But Patrick Rundqvist now has over 0.7 of a second and is oh well, there we go, 390 Jordi van der Eyck for causing a collision, so would have been avoidable contact as Rundqvist comes through into turn 7 for the final time. Second place is Tiggelsen with Karhunen and De Hoys. That's the top 4, and at the moment Lucas Horsman and Robin Knutsson are the last 2, and they have got a bit of they've got a bit of a good gap between themselves and Henri Jung and Dorian Heinrich. But the checkered flag is going to wave, and taking the second chance heat for the Senior Max division will be Patrick Rundqvist from KR Sport representing Sweden, Mikkel Tiggelsen from KMS Europe from Denmark in second, ahead of Max Karhunen from Team Finland in third. JJ Racing's Emily De Hoys also qualifies in fourth, ahead of Nice Racing's very own Lucas Horsman, with KR Sport also being represented thanks to Sweden's Robin Knutsson. So those are your top 6 that will automatically go through to the final stages of the Euro Trophy Open competition. The first Senior Max final will be at 11:30 this morning, but Patrick Rundqvist takes the win by nearly 3/4 of a second ahead of Mikkel Tiggelsen. Max Karhunen takes third, Emily De Hoys in fourth, with Lucas Horsman from Germany and Robin Knutsson being the last of the 6 qualified drivers for the Euro Trophy Open finals later on today. Henri Jung, Dorian Heinrich completed the top 8. Mick Knowlton made his way up to 9th, but unfortunately for the Dutch driver with GKS Lemons Power, it was not enough at the end of it. Fabian Bock in 10th, Una Oksanen in 11th, Julian Vertela in 12th, Jordan Dolishka in 13th, ahead of Jan Heinen, Meine Pedersen, Finn Gersitz, Jordi van der Eyck, Martin Frasch and Sam Harrison, completing the 19-strong contingent that competed in that second chance heat for the Senior Max division.